Hello and welcome to my channel. Happy learning to you, your ultimate guide to easy learning. So let's continue with the topic on plant kingdom, and topic for today is life cycles of angiosperm. The haploid plant body, which is the gametophytic generation, undergoes mitosis producing haploid gametes, which then fuse to form a diploid zygote, which again undergoes mitosis, resulting in the formation of a diploid sporophytic generation, which now undergoes meiosis, forming 4 haploid spores, which then undergo mitosis, ultimately forming a gametophyte again. Now let me explain you each of these. So before that, let's understand that during the life cycle of any sexually reproducing plant, there is an alternation of generation between the gamete producing haploid gametophyte and the spore producing diploid sporophyte. It is this generation and this generation. So there is alternation between the gametophytic generation and the sporophytic generation in any sexually reproducing plant. Now, let me explain you this cycle now. For that, let's understand. Said that the gametophyte here is haploid. That means it is having only one set of chromosomes. So only one set, that's for this N. And the sporophyte here you can see is diploid, which means it is having 2 sets of chromosomes. So that is 2N. Diploid meaning 2 and haploid meaning 1. So when I say N, it is haploid and 2N is diploid. Next term which I would like to explain is mitosis, which is a process of cell division without reduction in the chromosome number. And meiosis is the cell division wherein the chromosome number reduces to half. Understood? So once these terms are clear, I will explain you this cycle again. So what here the haploid gametophyte, haploid meaning one set of chromosome, undergoes mitosis. Mitosis is the chromosome number remains intact. So what will happen is that it will produce gametes. It is a gametophyte which will produce gametes. Now these gametes will be haploid or diploid. It is haploid. Why? Because it has undergone mitosis. Mitosis does not reduce the chromosome number, it remains the same. So the haploid gametophyte produces haploid gametes, which then fuse to form a diploid zygote. So this zygote is diploid, which means it is having 2 sets of chromosomes. Now this again undergoes mitosis where there is no reduction in the chromosome number. So the sporophyte which is produced here will also be diploid. That is 2N. This diploid sporophyte now undergoes meiosis. Meiosis is what? There is reduction in the chromosome number to half. So after meiosis, the diploid sporophyte will produce spores which are haploid. That is N. Because the chromosome number has now reduced. These spores undergo mitosis, wherein the chromosome number remains same. So it will result in the formation of a gametophyte which is also haploid. The sporophyte, this is the entire life cycle. I will explain it once again. I've already explained it in my previous video which is on angiosperm part 1. So, the complete life cycle is here. Sporophyte, it contains the stamens, which is the male sex organ, which bears anthers and the filament. And it has the pistil, which is the female sex organ, which has these three parts, the stigma, style, ovary. Now, these are present in the microsporangium, which has the microspores, whereas the female sex organ is in the megasporangium, which produces the megaspores. Microspores develop into the pollen grains, which is the male gametophyte, and the megaspores develop into ovule, which contains the female gametophyte, that's the embryo sac. Here the megasporocyte undergoes meiosis to form 4 megaspores, of which the 3 small ones and 1 large. The large megaspore in this case survives to form the embryo sac, whereas the remaining 3 small degenerate. Now what happens is that the pollen grains are dispersed and carried by wind or insect or any other means to the pistil. The ultimate, it is on the stigma, to the stigma of the pistil. Here the pollen grains germinate on the stigma, resulting in the formation of a pollen tube which grows through the tissues of the stigma and style and reaches the ovule. From here it enters the embryo sac. It enters this embryo sac, which is present inside the ovules. Here it discharges 2 male gametes, of which one fuses with the egg cell, resulting in the formation of a zygote, the process being known as syngamy, which develops into an embryo, and the second male gamete fuses with the diploid secondary nucleus, which is formed by the fusion of the 2 polar nuclei, resulting in the formation of a triploid primary endosperm nucleus, which is known as pen, which develops into an endosperm which provides nourishment to this developing embryo. And this embryo ultimately develops into a mature sporophyte. Embryo sac contains a 3-cell egg apparatus, that is 1 egg cell and 2 synergids, 3 antipodal cells and 2 polar nuclei, which fuses to form this diploid secondary nucleus. After the fertilization has occurred, these antipodal cells and the synergids degenerate. So next, this is all I had under the life cycle of angiosperms. The next video I will discuss about the alternation of generations. Do press like if you could learn about plant life cycle in an easy way. Do post in your comments and subscribe. Thank you.